I am Clementina, a 25-year-old Bulgarian who moved to Austria to study nutrition and now to work. My home country, Bulgaria, is located in the eastern part of the Balkans. Plovdiv, my hometown, is the largest one in its province and also the second largest in the country. It is one of the oldest cities in Europe. Once it gets a bit warmer, I would love to show you all the historical sites, such as the Roman theatre of Philippopolis. It is situated in the old town, a must-see, which is built in the base of one of the 7 hills of Plovdiv. The one thing I avoid changing when I am back home is my breakfast. I still have my oatmeal with chia seeds most days. The fiber helps my digestion, which needs to be on its best behavior with all the foods coming up. For lunch I made some chicken with rice and vegetables. The days before Christmas asked for simple meals with all the preparation ahead. A staple at the dinner table in winter is the so-called Russian salad, which challenges the definition of a salad. It contains both potatoes, peas, carrots, an absurd amount of diced pickles and ham, and some mayo that our mom didn't trust us with, so we only did the chopping. That day, I also went to check out the upgraded version of the Plovdiv Christmas market in the city center. It was 3 times as big as previous years, with a lot of different food options added to the menu. As you can see, it attracted plenty of people from all around the country, not just Plovdiv, who are now enjoying their waffles, hot chocolates, grilled meats, or just the atmosphere. Everything was quite expensive, however, that is the case with all markets around Europe. A separate section was reserved for small businesses to sell their products, arguably my favorite part of the market, since I always buy something from there to add to the gifts, whether it would be a candle, a small Christmas tree ornament, or handmade jewelry. This part also had its own DJ performance. For dinner, we met with some close friends of ours at a restaurant that combined Middle Eastern and Italian dishes called La Cucina. I chose to stay on the Italian side and had some pasta with chicken and a creamy sauce and some white wine to go with it. Apart from pasta, there is also pizza and kebab on the menu, so I believe there is something for everyone. It is time for big day number 1. Breakfast was filmed to show my consistency, but the star of the show today was going to be dinner. Since my mom had already prepared the classic holiday dessert for today, we started making the one for the guests tomorrow. A tiramisu is by no means a classic Balkan dessert, but my best friend actually told me it was also a thing for Christmas among everyone in her office. I really hope we did not bring dishonor to this dish and Italians won't tear me apart in the comments. Everything was kept as classic as possible, using a lot of espresso, mascarpone, egg yolks cooked slowly on a water bath, no heavy cream involved, egg whites were beaten separately. Some of it was saved up for Christmas tiramisu mugs to add to everyone's gifts. My sister had even made some custom print mugs for the guests that were coming over tomorrow. We didn't estimate it accurately, and unfortunately, while the mugs turned out amazing, there was not enough cream for the tiramisu for Christmas Day, and the top layer was thinner than we would have liked it to be. Hopefully, the small sugary decorations diverted the attention away from this little inconvenience. A must-have on Christmas Eve is the soda napitka. This day is the last one from the religious fasting, and the dinner is of course no exception. During religious fasting, one would eat pretty much as if they were vegan. This type of bread is made with flour, baking soda, and water. A coin is placed inside the dough, and whoever finds it in their piece shall be fortunate in terms of finances in the next year. You can't have Christmas Eve without some sarmi, which often consists of rice with minced meat wrapped in sauerkraut, but tonight we replaced the filling with beans and stuffed some peppers with them too. Kyopolu is probably my favorite appetizer on this table. You just blend some roasted peppers and eggplant together and add a generous amount of garlic. A fundamental rule of the dinner table on Christmas Eve is that the total number of dishes has to be uneven. While even numbers symbolize an ending or completion, the uneven ones are associated with abundance, growth, and prosperity. First things first, we had to serve the soda bread. Everyone got the piece that was facing in their direction. Ironically, the year I make a video about it, I end up getting the coin. Hopefully it manifests. Remind me about this next year. We spent the evening, just the 4 of us plus our grandma, The family lore is way too long and complicated to explain why we are not having a very large get-together with all the relatives, but I am sure a lot of you can relate. Honestly, this way I can reconnect with everyone at the table, listen to the story they are telling, and pay close attention, which is quite important to me since I am not around for most of the year. This is the dessert I was telling you about. It is called tikvenik and is made from pastry sheets with sugar, walnuts, and pumpkin. Before serving, we sprinkle some powdered sugar on top for a festive touch. My mom also made a version with apples which turned out similar to apple strudel. I can't pick a favorite. Pastries are generally my preferred type of dessert, cake doesn't tempt me as much. We also received some baked pumpkin with raisins from our sweet neighbor, and I had to find some place for it. All of the dishes tonight were quite light and easy to digest, so it is a challenge to end up uncomfortably full. Frankly, Christmas Eve is probably my favorite of the holiday season because of both the food and the people I spend it with. Christmas morning is always slow and peaceful. I probably have some tikvenik for breakfast every year. There is some extra Bulgarian yogurt with chia seeds for the fiber, otherwise my slow digestion won't survive the holidays. The pumpkin was also on my mind since last night. There was not much left of it, me and my mom were its biggest fans. I feel like Christmas decorations at our place haven't received the attention they deserve, so here are some shots to honor them. The Christmas tree this year was put on a coffee table since our new little puppy likes to chew on everything he finds and there are no exceptions. It was quite a rainy Christmas, but we still had to take him out 3 or 4 times that day to go number 1 and 2. He isn't a big fan of this weather either. It is time for another bread since we had more people coming over. This time it was not a soda one. My sister is the artistic child, as you can see, and she decorated it to resemble the coin I got from the soda bread yesterday. Her patience here was impressive to say the least. It turned out more beautiful than we could have ever imagined. Some other specialties were slow cooking in the oven for 4 to 5 hours, so my sister and I went over to our grandma's as a little surprise to bring her one of the tiramisu cups. Like a typical grandma, she had some dessert prepared as if she was expecting, and we had some of this delicious upside down cake with pineapples. Tonight, my sister's boyfriend and his parents came over for the first time, so it was an extra special Christmas dinner. There were so many dishes to choose from. The idea here is to have a little bit of everything. Our guests also brought some homemade lukanka and filet Elena with them, which are traditional Bulgarian salami. Honestly, the appetizers themselves could be a whole meal. Balkan/Slavic cuisine is pretty heavy on the dairy and meat, even in the starters and salads. The star of the show tonight is called kapama. This is the dish that was slow cooking in the oven for about 4 hours. Sausages and pork neck steaks are wrapped in sauerkraut and spices like black pepper and bay leaves. The cooking dish is crucial. It is called gyuvech, a pot made from clay, which in this case is sealed with dough. Tiramisu was the promised Christmas dessert, so no surprises here. For New Year's Eve, my boyfriend and I celebrated with 2 other couples and everyone had to prepare something to bring to the table. I offered to make the dessert and baked my first ever cheesecake, which was pretty heavy on the chocolate. This evening there is always a banitsa with fortunes for the new year. I got a new Mercedes and that I will also be changing diapers. However, there were 3 fortunes related to babies in total, and I also don't have a driver's license. After hearing the president's speech, it was champagne time at midnight. We were very excited about this specific one since Bulgaria is adopting the euro as of January 1st, 2026, and he wanted us to keep our own currency, the lev. It is going to be an important and probably quite chaotic year for Bulgaria. Today, a member of the family, typically the youngest, lightly pats the back of others with a suvaknitsa, aka this decorated stick. While doing this, he or she recites a short verse wishing their relatives well for the new year and is awarded snacks or money. We couldn't go without the banitsa with fortunes of our own, so my mom quickly made one to honor the tradition. Everyone got the piece facing in their direction and 3 fortunes. Ayran goes best with this meal. It is made from Bulgarian yogurt and water. Some add salt to it, but I prefer it plain. You can find it in the grocery stores even here in Austria. I preferred these fortunes to the previous ones. Studying, a new job, and luck align pretty well together. The 1st of January is always a very slow day. When the weather allows it, we drive off somewhere in the mountains, but this year it was colder than usual, so we chose to stay home. We were all feeling a bit sick anyways, and this created a great opportunity for us to spend the whole day together. Days during the holiday season always go by so fast that I don't notice when the date of my flight approaches. But at least editing this vlog keeps the heart warm. I hope you find this interesting, and I will be back to my usual videos very soon. And I wish you all the best for 2026.